in a few seconds.
All right.
Yeah, we are live.
All right. Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It depends on where you are. All right. So today we are going to organize a webinar, and its theme is prioritizing mental health at workplace. And if we talk about Peace 360 organization, the mission of the organization is to serve people in mental health, conflict transformation, to alleviate suffering of human beings. And I will discuss briefly the objectives of today's webinar. Our first objective is to create a workplace culture that supports mental health and the well-being of employees. And second objective of our event is to provide practical solutions for mental health challenges at workplace. And third objective of this event is how prioritizing mental health in the organization can transform the lives of employees. So basically, we have three panelists for today's session. And before I introduce them, I would like to share some facts with you that why it is important to focus on mental health, especially at workplace. If you talk about 2024, this year, World Health Organization specifically addressed this issue, and they are of the view that there is need to raise awareness about mental health issues at the workplace because it matters a lot, so that employees can be beneficiary of the mental health trainings. And basically, nowadays, most of the organizations have adopted some policies with reference to welfare of their employees. Either they are small organizations, or they are non-governmental organizations, or maybe transnational organizations. So basic aim of creating this webinar today is to raise awareness about the issues related to mental health. And I would like to share some interesting statistics with you. There is a website, Cool Team, and they have shared some interesting facts about the issues related with mental health at the workplace. They state on their website that almost 1 in 6 people at the workplace experience mental health problems. And if we talk about overall 12 billion people are suffering with depression and anxiety when it comes to perform their duties. And another interesting fact which they have shared is that those employees who are happy at their workplace are actually 13% more productive. So these are very interesting facts. And when we talk about the gender differences in issues regarding mental health issues at workplace, it is reported by them that women who work full time are almost twice as likely to have mental health problem and than their male counterparts. And if we talk about the youngsters, young people between the ages of 18 to 29 are more likely to leave their jobs for mental health reasons. So this is quite a alarming issue. And nowadays, another interesting thing is that the 40% of young people think more about mental health at workplace. And so there is need to discuss these issues with reference to providing awareness, how to tackle these issues at the workplace. And as I've mentioned earlier, that women are more prone towards having experiences of these kind of issues at workplace. So our panelists will share their insights why it is so. And if we talk about workplace bullying, there are also some very interesting facts about this, that women are more likely to self-label as victim at the workplace bullying, while men are more often identified as bullied based on negative acts they have experienced. Now I would like to briefly introduce my panelist of this event. And first, we have Chris with us. Second, our panelist is Ain, and third, we have invited Kathy for her point of view regarding how to address mental health issues when it comes to deal with them from human resource department's perspective. So, firstly, I would like to share Chris' profile. Chris is basically working as a founder and president of Peace 360 Initiative. And if we talk about his humanitarian work, it spans more than 14 years. And he has worked with international non-governmental organizations, for instance, United Nations institutions, and he is certified conflict resolution trainer. So we are very honored to have you in today's event. Now, I would like to introduce second panelist of our webinar, Ma'am Ain. She is also working as a leading mental health program specialist in Peace 360 organization, and she is a certified counselor, and she associated with Association for Counselors and Psychologists in Kenya. And she holds master's degree in marriage and family therapy with over 15 years of experience. And she's also certified professional mediator. So we are thankful for having you with us today. And our third panelist is Kathy. She is human resource consultant, and she's associated with various organizations, and she has experience regarding creating human resource policies and other documents related with dealing employees services. And she is also associated with she's also associated with our Peace 360 organization, and she is a responsible person and dealing with a lot of new interns in our organization. So this is the brief profile. So now I would like to initiate the conversation so that our audience can benefit from the situation which we face on daily basis at our workplace. Because if we estimate almost half of our time is spent at workplace, and I'm talking about full-time employees. So firstly, I would like to ask a question from Chris, that, it's very difficult to manage a workload, and many people complained about this, that it's very difficult for them to manage it because of the, workplace politics, etc. So I would like to ask Chris, how do you manage your workload when it is overwhelming for you, so our audience can benefit from your strategies which you employ in your life? Thank you. Over to you, Chris.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome. So if you're joining through Zoom or YouTube Live or watching later on YouTube, so this is much of an important topic that we all should be aware of. So thank you for the question, and thank you for moderating, Maureen. But I would like to go with some statistics first, and then also having a roadmap for the solution. Okay. So as Maureen said, I think the data says average person spends 1/3 of the life at workplace. That's a lot of time in a lifetime. And then I think it's around 90,000 hours. So many years that we spend our time at workplace. And some people does even like more work, 50, 60 hours. And they come home and take some rest and then go to work again. So it's like a machine that, yeah, but we spend a lot of time at workplace. So, and also almost 60% of the world population is at work. So they are doing some kind of work. So and when we ask why people need to work, and it is part of life, and then it is for livelihood, and also it's brings sense of confidence, purpose, and achievement. And it's also an opportunity for positive relationship and inclusion in the community, and have a structured routines. And there are so many benefits are involved of having a job. So we all should work. So and it brings some food to our tables, and help us to raise family, and also build a community too. So, mental health at workplace. So, overall, mental health is highly important. So, as Peace 360 initiative, we promote mental wellness, and all of us we must think about our mental wellness. So, workplace um, can bring a positive benefit, and also negative effect. So being at work does bring a lot of benefits, including mental health benefits. It's bring satisfaction, and belonging to a community, and also a lot of joy. Sometimes when you do a job that you love, that it makes sense. It's bring a purpose. But nowadays, we see when we talk about mental health, um, many people understands that it bring a lot of negative effect. It's affect workers' mental health. So that is the issue now. So when we look at the data, again, so it's hard to realize that the how negative it is, because 1 in 5 of the workforce experience mental health issue because of their work-related situations. So again, if you look at the data, um, it's um, it's discouraging. Um, but so yeah, with that, I'd like to kind of explain. So, what is the symptoms of work-related stress? So it can bring a mental health issue, and also physical effects as well. It can bring a fatigue, a muscular tension, headaches, sleeping difficulties, depression, anxiety, and sometimes it's behavioral symptoms. Symptoms involve aggression and isolation. Sometimes it's severe. It can lead to suicidal thoughts too. So, and what actually contribute to workplace stress is mostly it's can be organizational culture, bad management practices, job demands, physical work environment, relationship at work, change management, lack of support, role conflict, and trauma. Maybe sometimes people do bring their family issues to workplace, and some people do like bring workplace issues to family. It's like a cycle. So again, understanding the data and what causes the issue is really, really important. So at Peace 360, we believe we have to look at the iceberg, and the bottom part of the iceberg is that not much visible. So to find solutions, we have to look at the root causes. So I think this is my overall view about what is the statistics are, what brings stress, and then also the 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 effects, the mental health problems um, at the workplace. So yeah, with that, let me um, give back to Maureen, and you can ask further more questions. And I think you asked a question, so I can keep that for at the end. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for responding in detail. Now, I would like to ask question from Ain, because since she has experience with dealing with a lot of people who are facing mental health issues, and so I would like to ask Ain, what do you think? What should be the role of managers while creating a healthy environment at workplace, which is which boosts the health of employees? And over to you.
Thank you, Maureen. And you've shared with Chris the important statistics. With mental health, maybe what I can also add is that unlike physical health, it's not recognizable. So I always want to bring this reminder that you cannot look at me and tell I am not well when it comes to mental health. And so it is, if someone has, for instance, a bandage on the hand or on the head, you will ask and empathize. But with the mental health issues, it needs just keen interest. And when we look at that time that we spend at the workplace, we've noticed it's a big percentage of our time on any given day. And so managers, just as parents in the home provide a safe environment, managers also have a big role to play in ensuring a healthy work environment. Maybe some of the ways a manager can help contribute, build this kind of environment is through being an example themselves in fostering open communication, allowing people to just talk easily about the challenges they are facing. When the manager is part of this, when the manager doesn't find it wrong for one to express what they are going through, so that open communication is very important, so that stigma is removed from sharing about mental health crisis. And then supporting work-life balance. If I, as an employee, I need time off because I am maybe going through exams, or I have other family challenges, and so being just allowed to do that. So a manager needs to recognize those needs, and then also having supportive environment where the one who needs help is facilitated, and that environment is created where people want to help one another and empathize. And then also the resources and support. As a manager, what work, what facilities, what resources do the employees need? Because if we don't provide that kind of facility or resource, even an environment where I feel I am safe, I have no stressful situations that will interfere with my work. So the manager is actually tasked with doing that. And then, do you pay enough attention to notice signs and symptoms of of these employees where they are going through challenges, signs of stress or burnout? Are they portraying behaviors that they didn't have there before? I can see my colleague or who is my junior, especially, is behaving in a way that is not their normal way of interacting with people and their work. So just identifying, just being able to pick out. So keen interest, and then creating that work environment and setting realistic expectations. Before an employee has finished doing the first task, you add another one, and then ask where they are with the previous one, and add, and then it gets quite stressful. And then just that checking in, do employees understand that mental health issues arise, and helping them to take that time off work, creating that environment, and even like having a mental health day for the staff, for the office workers, and encouraging people to talk about their issues, and make it a fun thing, through retreats and such things. And then also ensuring that people have enough skill sets for the task that they are given, so that they are not getting stressed because they are slow or they are having other issues, but it's because maybe they are not well equipped to do that work. So just ensuring they have that kind of development that is ongoing. And as you go on as a manager, you keep checking what else does this person need? Do they have enough facilities? Do they have enough skills for the tasks we have given them? Maybe that's what I can contribute for now to that question. Thank you.
Thank you, Ain, for sharing your perspective. And yes, you are right. It's crucial responsibility of manager to handle the tough situations which arise at the workplace, and to make sure that everyone in the team is in the right state of mind. And yes, I think successful leaders are those who take care of their employees. So now I would like to ask question from Chris, because this mental health issue is so much prevalent, and those who are struggling with mental health issues, it is somewhat difficult for them to deal with difficult situations at workplace, and especially dealing with difficult colleagues and their obviously supervisors. So I would like to ask you to share your perspective, like how you yourself deals with these kind of situation when it comes to dealing with difficult colleagues, or how to address the conflict at the workplace. Thank you.
Thank you, Maureen. Yeah, so dealing with difficult colleagues is one of the thing that can cause work-related stress, but there are so many others. So if people are just watching this, so just for information, there are so many factors involved. So it can be long hours, heavy workload, changes in the organization, tight deadlines, and changes of duties, job insecurity. Sometimes it's boring work, over supervision, lack of equipment, and lack of promotional opportunities. Most of the problem is harassments, discriminations, and there are so many factors. So one of that actually, Maureen said, dealing with difficult colleagues. So there are few different levels. So it's upper management, and sometimes they lack the lack of understanding the importance of the employee, because the employee, the most valuable asset for the organization or the company. And sometimes the management's focus is on making revenue or getting the work done, but not accommodating things for the employees. So how you treat the employees does make difference. So so actually, I would like to touch that part a little bit on a important level because I've been managing organizations and I have senior level experience. So, and I try my best to accommodate volunteers, employees, and also especially promoting their mental health in every single level. So understanding the people are important. They are the most valuable assets, and also empowering them does make impact. So again, when you look at people, those who work above you or below you or along with you, and they are somebody's mothers, fathers, or brothers, sisters. So they have relationship families beside work. So first of all, understanding them as human beings and understanding they do have life and they do have a relationship and respecting and their lives and I think understanding accepting them is a key. So difficult things can happen. So in many different levels. So it depends on how the management treats you. It depends on how your co-workers treats you. Sometimes it depends on how um, your team members, those who work under you, treat you. So it does bring a lot of things. So this is what I would do. So first, I would have a self-awareness, so that who I am and why I'm there, and what is my big picture. So why I work, and then it's sometimes bringing that big picture does eliminate some of the distractions. So we are there to contribute and make a living, and we are there to help people or help others and being an asset to the organization. So keeping that in mind is helpful. But when things happen, so we should understand they are also people and they are people with emotions, and sometimes they do go through different things at their lives. And if somebody is angry or somebody is behaving a little bit different, so you should ask them what's going on with their life. So maybe they might having a bad day. So maybe they're trying to resolve some of their life issues. So first of all, understanding them, trying to understanding their situation and being kind to them is also a key. If somebody is attacking you, somebody is being mean to you, somebody is discriminating you, or whatever things, you don't need to do the same thing to them. So you can treat them differently, and it will open their eyes. Wow, why I did that to that person. So don't act the same level that they are. So we must act as kind people and good human being. So even though they mistreat you, and then you can be kind to them. So and sometimes having a pause and trying to understand things, and also sometimes is um, I don't know, being silent and process things, and that does help. So you don't need to react right away. Um, so again, difficult colleagues, maybe difficult management or difficult worker, it's hard. People working with people is not easy. But again, I would say self-awareness. and understanding the root causes, respecting them as the human beings, and positively processing things towards a solution. So sometimes the solution doesn't happen right away. We may have to process, we may have to wait for some time, um, but um, but it's possible. Um, yeah, so most of the times, so what happened is when we have workplace conflicts and we do overthink, sometimes we take it very personal, and sometimes we worry about the things that we cannot control. So those things can bring a negative emotions and negative um, power, I would say. So in those situations, we have to be aware of how to push those negative things and being courageous and also smart and kind of working towards a solution. Thank you.
Thank you so much for answering this question in so much detail. And I hope all of our audience will be able to learn something from this conversation, because it's really, practical in nature. Yeah, we shouldn't, react in a negative way and treat them with kindness. All right. So now I would like to ask question from Ain, because you are also working as a team manager. So what do you think, like how team members can create a supportive work environment for each other?
Thank you, Maureen. Again, understanding, empathy, and just being aware that this colleague, how they behave on a daily basis. And so when I see that someone is not behaving the way they normally do, I will recognize, and then I'll be able to step in and support. Just having that positive view of your colleague and you're in your work environment is very, very key in having that kind of supportive attitude towards one another. How do I listen? How do I view a colleague? How do I interact? Because you can come to work and have your desk, and I have my desk, and we both know we are just there to do the work and go home. And so I am not noticing anything else that is going on with my colleagues. So just having that supportive attitude will help me see. So active listening, being non-judgmental, and then just trying to show empathy and create that space where someone will feel understood and supported despite the workload or the challenges they are facing, maybe even on the home front, not necessarily in the workplace. And then just being supportive, not to tell you as my colleague or as my junior, this is what you need to do, but just to listen and see how they can get on with their challenge. And then just to also give them that space that they need to feel comfortable and safe, especially when things are going tough. Because when one is already going through a difficult moment, and then you are here also loading it on them, with unnecessary demands or unnecessary unsupportive ways of behaving towards them, it becomes very difficult. And then encouraging seeking professional support, and at times it might be that even as a mental health professional, for a colleague, there's that dual relationship. So I might not be the one, the best to support you or my colleague properly. So just encouraging them to seek help when things are too much, so that they get professional support, and then also to make sure that you provide that the resources that are required for them to be able to do that or to cope with their difficult situations. And then also, if it's for instance, if it's workload, how do you help someone? Maybe who else can do part of the work? How can you help in a practical way for this person to cope? And then maybe just even checking in on them. If they have taken even time off to deal with their issue, it's good to just follow up and check, and then having that consistent way of showing I care. It goes a long way to show an employee or a colleague that all is not.
All right,
thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Ian, for sharing your perspective. Because Kathy is not with us, so I would like to ask questions from human resource department's perspective, and I would like to ask question from Chris. That what do you think? How can the organizations normalize taking mental health days off, and how it is crucial for overall employees' well-being? Thank you.
Yeah, again, there are few different ways or few different levels that the workplace mental health promotion can be done. The first, I would think, a state, a country, the leaders, or state or federal government, they do, or lawmakers, they do have a responsibility of creating the law or policies to promote mental wellness at workplaces. In the US, Department of Labor has done a fantastic job. So if you look at the website and stuff, there are a lot of information and resources out there. The second, the managements, they should realize the workers, the people are the most valuable assets. And if you wanted to make impact or the workers' productivity, then you should treat them on a fairly well basis. So you should promote their mental wellness. If they are being well and they would do their best, and also your company or organization would grow well. So at Peace 360, and we are volunteer-based organization, and all of us are working or student. So even though we have a very busy life and jobs, and we are here to contribute our skills, our time for a good cause. Again, it doubles up our responsibility or commitment, our time. So, but this is how I would look at my teams or the people that I work with. And I treat my mental wellness and others' mental wellness equally. So whatever the practices that I do, and then I do ask them to consider those techniques. So for example, for me, I have a 24/7 job. and I work hard, and sometimes I must take breaks. So if I don't take breaks, and then I'll be exhausted, I cannot be focused. So that's the same for the volunteers, or the employees, yes, employees that out there, and asking them, just monitoring them. So just checking them time to time, whether they're doing well or not, and also if they are facing any burnout, and we can ask them to take a break, or they should have a pattern of taking breaks and coming back with good vibes. So setting standards in policies, or in creating a culture to take care of the employees, um, and also having talks, mental health talks on a regular basis would really help for to retain our workforce, and also being a productive organization or company.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing valuable points with our audience. And yes, I can see Catherine has joined us. So luckily, uh, okay. Hi, Kathy. Can you hear us? Okay. So before asking questions from Kathy, I would like to ask last question from Ain, and then if Kathy is able to join us, then we will ask her a few questions. Okay. Ain, so last question for you is, how do you strike a balance between your personal and professional life, so that our audience can also benefit from your perspective and viewpoint? Thank you.
Thank you, Maureen. A work-life balance. The first thing I could do is having boundaries, where I think Chris talked about it, how we at times take work home or bring home to work, but having a healthy balance between the two, where I know at this time it's my time to work, and not taking on more work after office hours, saying no to when maybe it's getting too much, and there's the joke of one putting their laptop next to their bed, and just making sure they don't miss out on work instructions. That is not healthy. So having that, uh, setting boundaries, and then knowing when you've taken in enough, if it's for the day or for the task that you are given, and just having that environment of uh, respecting one another, where it's easy for one to reach out and maybe share out some of the tasks when it gets to that. So just trying to balance, and it doesn't mean I stop working altogether, but I can ask for help, whether it's from the ones above me or from the colleagues that I can maybe delegate to. So just that kind of striking a balance and setting boundaries, and also reaching out for professional help when it gets necessary. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing valuable insights with our audience. And okay, so now I would like to ask question from Kathy, that what do you think? Like if I talk about your profile, like you have experience with so many organization, and you have devised human resource policies. So, would you like to share your experience with human resource departments in terms of promoting employee well-being? Over to you, Kathy.
I'm so sorry, first and foremost, that I had so many issues. I've just been able to join. So my experience with promoting employee well-being in the workplace. First and foremost, if the values of the company, if the employees resonate with the company values, and there is a culture of following those values that has been put in place by management, then the well-being of the employee will be taken care of, because they will live the values. They will, as they work, the values will guide them. The other thing is flexible working hours, just to create an environment where employees have flexible working hours. Work-life balance is also very important. And then also comfortable working conditions, because if the conditions of the workplace are not good for the employees, then their well-being will be affected. Also, fair recognition initiatives, where all the employees are recognized in the same way to create equity. Then also where the engagement programs are in order, and the needs of the employees are accordingly taken care of. So all these things create the well-being of employees in our workplace.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing your perspective. And now I would like to ask a last question, and I'm going to ask this question from Chris. How can mental health infrastructures can be improved in those communities where their laws are not implemented, or their policies are not that much good? So, any suggestions you would like to share?
Yeah, it is actually a hard thing, especially the people who are in difficult jobs and in difficult places. Maybe not much workplace policies or procedures or work condition, so not improved. So it's very hard for them to manage and cope, have the coping skills. So some foundations. So first of all, um, when we do a job, we should feel the sense of purpose. So no matter what job you do, you should feel a sense of purpose. Okay, this is something I need, and I need to do. There's something behind this job, so I need to take care of the family, or this is what I would like to do. So again, with that, so if you do a job that you love, so that's more satisfying, even though it's hard, and you would find so much reward in it. And but that's not the case in most of the workers. So sometimes they ended up doing jobs that they don't they like. So um, again, they must pause and process and find opportunities that they would like to pursue. So there are a lot of opportunities around. The world is becoming a place for opportunities. So there are educational opportunities, training opportunities. There are organizations that do value the employees. So yeah, there's a lot of opportunities, and not stopping finding opportunities also key. But again, if that's not the right place, I think they must find a different place to work. Because mental health is important. So as a human being, you should enjoy your life, and you should bring a positive impact to your family, your relationship, your friends, and your community. So if your mental health is continually being affected, if you don't see any solution, and I think it's time to step out and find a different opportunities. Again, whatever you do, whatever the decisions you make, it should be a right decision, a peaceful decision, and it shouldn't be affecting others' mental health. So again, as Anne said, seek help. There are so much resources and support system out there. Sometimes people uh, don't have much awareness about it. Again, this is also something P3Six is trying to do. If you need help, if you need a mentor, if you need support groups, we are available. So this support groups play a huge role, and mentors play a huge role in decision making. So asking support, and again, professional support is important. And then based on that, and then they can navigate any decisions about their job. Again, I would say mental health is important, and job does bring positive impact. And if you have to vigilant about negative impacts or the workplace stresses that ultimately put us down, and we should build coping skills and the right decision making skills, and then we should be able to move on to the right direction. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing insightful opinion. And in the end, I would like to thank all my participants of this event, and obviously our panelists also, because without them, this event wouldn't be possible to organize. And in the end, I would like to say thank you everyone for joining us today and making this event successful. And I would like to say stay tuned to P360 organization social media pages, and to get more information about future events. And if you want to seek help, our experts are available. You can reach out to them, and hopefully they will address your concerns. Thank you so much for joining, and I would like to say goodbye, good night, and good afternoon. It depends on your region. So thank you so much for joining us today. All right, stay blessed.